What's good, everybody? It's been a long time since I made a YouTube video, but we are back, and that's the important thing. Hold up, let me take a bite of my oranges. We are back, but we're back with a different type of video, as you could tell with the title. I'm finally bringing out my trading to, I'm starting to tell people publicly, because to me it was always embarrassing, because there's so many people who think trading isn't real, or that it's like gambling and like stuff like that. But it's really not. If you just look at the charts for like half a minute, just fucking idiots. Not you guys. Sorry. So I'm here with a chart open, and I'm starting a new playlist. It's gonna be at least a year long. It's gonna be path to a funded payout. Path to first funded payout. So it's gonna be path PTFP, path to first funded payout. Boom. And today's gonna be episode 1. I was gonna do a live trading day at 6 in the morning because I took a trade today, but we're just gonna do a trade recap instead because I didn't record earlier. Okay, so let's go ahead and start after I eat this bite. Let me move this actually. Look at this. Oh yeah. Okay. Boom. First, I'm gonna introduce myself. If you don't know who I am, Shavi. I'm not 18 yet, so I can't legally trade. So this is why I only demo trade. I'm just practicing. But I've been at least trading for like a year, and I've come to the conclusion with the strategy that is from ICT Concepts. He's the one that taught me everything I know. And I don't know why people hate on him, because if you have an IQ of at least 50, then you'll see that his concepts actually work if you put them into the live market. Okay, people just don't do them right, I guess, sometimes. I don't do them right sometimes either. So boom, let's start. This is the trading day right here. It was Monday. It was a bank holiday. And what you always got to do, of course, if you're already a trader, you know, you got to check. Oh my, I'm broke, guys. Sorry, I don't have premium. Boom. Calendar. There was no news. It's a bank holiday as well. So I shouldn't have even been trading today because it was a bank holiday, but why not? I'm just learning still. So I got to take all the experience I could get. Boom. What do? I go on the 30-minute, 8:30 on both indices, NASDAQ and ES, or S&P 500 futures, E-mini futures. Boom. Then I mark out session highs and lows. Just go ahead and do that real quick. I think it's so rainy, bro. My plants are going to be cooked. So, boom. Here's the low. Here's the high. Here's the low and the high of London. That's London session. Then we have Asia session all the way to freak down here. And there's no high for Asia session because it was taken by London. So let's go ahead and also mark previous day highs and lows, which is right here. And hold on, excuse me. Y'all hear that? And all my plants are getting drenched right now, by the way. So boom, go ahead and do this. Then what I do after this is go on the higher time frame, look at our daily bias. But recently I've been realizing that daily bias isn't really needed as long as you find a good setup. Because what's it called? Even though if your bias is bearish, like it's gonna go down, you can still find an A+ setup for like a short-term long. So yeah. Then we go to the hourly. Might as well just find our bias, which is bullish on the day that I was trading. But look, it's bullish, right? But look what it does. It sweeps these lows all the way down here. So boom, that literally shows why bias doesn't even matter, because this is the time where I would have been trading. Boom, here as well. Went even lower. So on the hourly, we mark out hourly highs and lows, but there really isn't none. Yeah, there's no highs and lows to mark out, to be honest. And then we go on the 4 hour, do the same thing. Nothing to mark out. So we basically got our whole, like, this is basically like the price range where I, like, what am I doing? Where's the, yeah. This is like the price range where I think, today, like the day will be at when I woke up at 6. Boom. There we go. Then we go down to the, oh, freak. Missing step, guys. We gotta mark out high time frame PD arrays, like confluences. So boom, here's a 4 hour gap that has been respected before. Pretty sure I took a trade on this day. I took a short. I don't remember, right? But I hit take profit. So boom. Then we also have this gap that's been reacted. Prices reacted there before as well. Boom. I'm pretty sure that was all the confluences that I marked, because I don't mark order blocks, because most of the time what I've noticed is that there's a fair value gap in between where the price range of the order block is. I'll mark the order block if it's like this. You see, like this is like a smaller price range that's more reasonable, because if it's like this whole thing, like this would be the order block, because the whole leg down, right? The last leg moved down before the move up. Huge price range, doesn't make sense. And look, we have a fair value gap in here, and it just reacts. So, and then right here too, there's a fair value gap right here too. So it's like most of the time you don't even need the order block, but I do use breaker blocks. Those are kind of useful too. So after that, we scale down to either the 5 minute or the 15 minute. That's what I do. Then I market open. I want to see some higher low get taken, then my confluences to appear, and then take a trade in the opposite direction. Let's go ahead. Go down to the 5 minute. Boom. Here's where I marked. So what does pre-market do? It immediately sweeps these London lows but continues even lower. So this is all pre-market. All the way until here where my mouse is at, this line, this candle right here, this is all pre-market. So we also sweep these lows here. Don't tell me these are equal lows. No, they're not. They're relative equal lows. Actually, no, they're not. Excuse me. What am I thinking? Pretty sure these are equal lows, all right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I marked this. Yeah, so that's equal lows. Pre-market sweeps that as well. Sorry, guys. Sorry again, guys. I ran out of storage. God damn, hopefully it doesn't do it again. Please don't do it again. Please don't do it again. Okay, let's continue with our recap, trade recap. Boom, market here. Where's market open here? Yeah, okay. So we sweep these lows and we inverse this gap. So we're going to push even lower. But you see, we inverse this bullish gap here. Whatever, get rid of this now. Boom, the market opens, sweeps Asia lows, sweeps this low time frame low. All right, look, this is all just a bunch of liquidity that is swept. So boom, after it sweeps these, delete these lines now. NQ pushes into this 4 hour gap here with this wick, long wick, and ES does not, and I'm an idiot, and I forgot to mark out the fair value gaps on ES. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Boom. And boom. Okay. Now let's go back to let's actually go to the 1 minute. So ES does the same things, it sweeps all of these. But the main thing I was going to say was ES or NQ sweeps all those lows and taps into the 4-hour gap, while ES does not tap into the gap, and we actually get a bullish SMT divergence on the 5-minute. Let's go ahead and mark that out. Look at Asia low. It later went to go sweep it right, but the time where I took the trade, it was not taken, and that was SMT divergence. So let's go ahead and mark that. Here we go. Boom. And Asia low here. If any traders, like, if y'all see something wrong with my video, just let me know so I can make better videos, okay? And fix my strategies. So boom, at this point, I'm trying to see, okay, we sweeped all this sell side liquidity. Now I'm trying to see if it'll react to this gap, which on the 1 minute, I scale down to the 1 minute. It does. On ES, I remember going to the 5 minute, and there was a fair value gap within this move down. Yep. There it is. Boom. And there was a 15-minute gap on both indices on the leg down. Here's the 15-minute. So by now, I was thinking, okay, we're bearish, and we're probably going to push lower, which we did later on, but not as much as I thought we would. Thought we were going to push past this gap and inverse it, aiming for this external liquidity. Okay. Boom. So it's gone to 1 minute. It was a pretty quick day today. I took a trade really fast. Like, what time was this? Literally 20 minutes after market open. And you see these, yes, I'm broke. I have delayed charts, okay? I can't afford it. Because it's E-mini futures. Yeah, E. So, whatever. Boom. Now, I see this candle. I want to see this 1 minute bearish for value gap get inversed, which it does. And here I didn't even count this as a gap for real. But there you go. This whatever tiny gap gets inversed. So boom, this is the main thing here. It gets inversed. We get a breaker structure. And even better, this bigger imbalance gets inversed. Then we get a react. I want to see a reaction now. I want to see a retracement now. I want to see, because at this point, I didn't get all the confluences that I usually need to take a trade, but I knew that price was going to try and retrace into, into this unfilled 15-minute, and it does there, but this was before I knew that. It was like all the way back here. So we see the same thing on ES, breaker structure. Now on NQ, I saw this bullish fair value gap get tapped into by literally like one tick. And although it stops me from getting more optimal trade entries, I do it just to make sure. I wait to see a bullish reaction out of the fair value gap, which we get a strong bullish reaction, taking out this short-term high, which is important. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I counted this as a market structure shift. So I was like, okay, that's even better. Boom. I entered long there, putting my stop loss on a 5-minute, like the bottom of a 5-minute. It was a 1.43. So where was that at? Okay, I remember it was there. Boom. There it was. It was on basically right below this 1 minute gap here. I was hoping price didn't come back into this, because if it did, I would be right next to my stop loss. So what does it do? It immediately comes up, taps back into this 1 minute gap here. Let me make this, how do I move this out of the way, bro? Whatever, it taps into this gap, pushes higher, boom. Barely taps into it, and that was my full TP. What does it do? Right after it taps into the fair value gap, drops like crazy. Then it takes the low. Then it takes Asia low. So on ES, here it is, the same thing. And then by like the time I entered the trade on NQ, I knew like for sure we're gonna go up, especially because I went on the higher time frame. Pretty sure I went on the 15-minute. Oh, I actually have it in my notes. Guys, take notes if you trade, because it's really important. Trade recap. Okay, 2 trades. No. 1 on NQ, 1 on ES. Both hit full TP. Yep. Unfilled hour gap. Long. Yep. Pre-market, market sweep a lot of lows. Price tapped into bullish 4-hour gap. Price reacted bullish. 1 minute inverse value gap. Breaker structure, market structure shift. Once, yep, I entered long. Yep, okay, that's exactly what I said. And right after this happened, what happened? Let's check on here. No, I guess it was a 5 minute. Where was it actually? Yeah, I think it was on the 5 minute that I marked this. It was, stop it. Where are you going? It tapped into equilibrium, I'm pretty sure. Did it? It was either on ES or NQ. I don't remember. Bro, the magnet's annoying. Watch out, bro. Okay, it did. It tapped into equilibrium as well as for value gap. That's even stronger. Confluence is going to go down because you could have been waiting for shorts, but I'm not waiting this long to take a short. I would have missed the move because NQ already took all those lows, so I would have missed it if I waited. So, boom. You want to see a fair value gap inside of equilibrium, where this is the premium to go short. So, yeah, we inversed also the 5 minute gap on ES. So, yeah, it was on NQ. NQ was more clear because the high was up here and the low was all the way down there. Boom, taps in, barely taps into this 15 minute, drops lower. So that was a trade I took on the, today on the 16th of February at 6:50 in the morning because this is New York time and I'm 3 hours behind. I'm in Cali, so there you go. All right, well, that was the trade taken, and I'm gonna add more episodes. I'm gonna do live ones, not live. What's it called? In the middle of the morning trades, so like 6:50 when I'm taking these trades. I'm gonna record it. But it's I don't know if I'm gonna have enough storage. I might just do trade recap because if I do it like live, I'm probably just gonna start recording when I'm about to take a trade. Because if I do it the whole time, it's gonna be like an hour long recording, or like an hour and a half. Yeah. So, boom. I'm gonna keep doing this. It's gonna be path to first funded payout. PTFF. PTFFP. Boom. This is episode 1. See y'all in the next episode, boys. Wait. Like the video.